Housing TV news at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studio in the nation's capital, Abuja. Doctors begin 3-day warning strike over unpaid salaries. President Tinubu's administration invests 300 billion. We begin with national matters. Nigeria and the United Kingdom have strengthened their partnership in the fight against the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast region. The UK Minister of State for Defence, Lord Vernon Coker, made this known during a visit to the headquarters of the Theatre Command Operation Hadinkai in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, on Wednesday. According to Lord Coker, the UK views Nigeria as a crucial ally and friend, with both countries sharing fundamental values such as the rule of law, respect for borders, democracy and human rights. He acknowledged the challenges Nigeria faces in combating terrorism and commended the country's efforts in tackling the threat, particularly through Operation Hadinkai. Lord Coker stated that the United Kingdom has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting Nigerians' efforts to combat terrorism, particularly in the northeast region. The federal government will begin the implementation of the International Cargo Tracking Note across the nation's ports by the second quarter of this year. The Executive Secretary and CEO of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Pius Okeyima Okuta, revealed this in Ibadan recently. Akuta spoke during the 5-year strategic management retreat held with the theme, The Future Transition from Nigerian Shippers Council to Nigerian Port Economic Regulatory Agency in Ibadan, Oyo State. The Nigerian Shippers Council scribe said that the council's 2025 budget is strategically anchored on the 1% freight stabilization fee, with plans to commence its collection upon presidential assent to the NPERA bill. The Independent National Electoral Commission has scheduled the Federal Capital Territory Area Council election for Saturday, the 21st of February 2026. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu announced the date during a consultative meeting with political parties in Abuja. Professor Yakubu revealed that voting will take place across all designated polling units in the 68 constituencies. The election will see voters elect 6 area council chairmen and 2 councillors. He further stated that the detailed timetable schedule of activities and a list of constituencies involved in the election will be available on the Commission's website before the meeting concludes.
For instance, Section 28, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022 requires the Commission to issue the notice for elections not later than 360 days before the date of the election. This applies to the general as well as off-cycle elections. As we are aware, the Commission is responsible for the area council election in the Federal Capital Territory, the only part of the country where INEC conducts local government elections, and the only part of the country where there has never been a caretaker committee, where there has been regularity of elections, where there has been certainty of tenure, and where no one political party has ever won all the seats in the area council in the FCT. INEC conducts the elections in the Federal Capital Territory for the area councils.
Also speaking, National Chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, Mamman Dantali, while noting the importance of credible elections for the future of Nigerian democracy, he noted that Nigeria must get it right in the November 2025 Anambra State governorship election, as he urged stakeholders to plan adequately for the 2027 general election.
Aside numerous off-season elections, by-elections, rerun elections and supplementary elections, with remarkable reforms and steady development in the electoral process, so much is expected from the Commission in conducting free, fair, credible, transparent, and inclusive elections that meet international standards. Therefore, the preparation for the conduct of the 8th general election in 2027 should commence immediately to enable the Commission to put in place all requirements in due time and to meet expectations of Nigerians. While preparation for the Anambra State governorship and gubernatorial election are on, the Commission should also activate its election project plan, EPP, the Strategic Program of Action, SPA, The 2022-2026 Strategic Plan and Strategic Plan Implementation Program SPIP for the 2027 general election.
As for their guidance, INEC said it is including the hard copies of the Regulation and Guidelines for Political Parties 2022 in their folders, while the soft copy is already available from its website. And now to the Senate, where the Office of the Auditor General for the Federation may have zero allocation for 2025 due to the suspension of its budget defense session by the Senate. The Senate has earlier scheduled Wednesday, 22nd January 2025 as deadline for budget defense to pave the way for the Committee on Appropriation to harmonize various reports. But during Tuesday's budget defense, Chairman of Senate Committee on Public Account Ahmed Wadada sent the Auditor General for the Federation, Shaka Chira, and his team packing due to ill preparation and lack of diligent handling of his documents. Chira, who appeared before the committee, could not answer questions posed to him concerning the 2024 budget performance of his office. During the presentation, members of the Joint Committee complained that the copy of budget documents being read by the Auditor General was different from the ones made available to them. After the meeting, Wadada told journalists that the Auditor General still has time to go get prepared and return before the end of Tuesday, since Wednesday is the deadline.
The Office of the Auditor General for the Federation that is saddled with the responsibility of auditing ministries, departments and agencies to ensure transparency and accountability in the management of public funds is before this committee, and this committee is saddled with the responsibility of auditing the Office of the Auditor General, and with those gray areas coming from the Office of the Auditor General, it is for, the onus is on us to do the needful, and the needful is for us to suspend the defense. Treating the budget of the Office of the Auditor General for the Federation until those gray areas are cleared, and that's why we suspended the exercise to give room for the next agency, which is NAETI, and when they come back with the gray areas being put in the right perspective, and we find that worthy of approving the budget, we approve the budget.
In another development, Nigerian's Minister of Aviation Festus Keyamo has expressed dissatisfaction with reports of an inflated cost of 532 billion naira for the second runway at Abuja's Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. He confirmed that the government had budgeted 90 billion naira for the project, asserting that proper oversight is essential to avoid financial mismanagement. Keyamo, who appeared before the Joint Committee on Aviation for 2025 Budget Defense, emphasized the need for transparency and accountability in project financing, rejecting any claims of such a high cost.
We have to invite fresh bids, because they cannot hold us to ransom. No contractor like that. It's a responsible contract. This is the committee oversighting us. They will chop my neck off if I come back and tell the committee that I approved how much. No, I will not. 500, from 90 billion to 532 billion within a space of 2 years to do the second runway, I will not accept it.
Keyamo also justified the federal government's decision to decentralize the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology by splitting it into 6 campuses across Nigeria's geopolitical zones.
Right now we are having a problem of space in Zaria. To give you an update, sir, I'm sure you graciously approved it last year or the year before for us to buy an additional hotel in Zaria because we could not accommodate the students again in the main campus because of the burgeoning population of the school. So we had to now buy the Zaria Hotel. The Zaria Hotel is now an annex, even within Zaria, of that training college. And we expect the populations to even grow beyond that. So the question we ask ourselves is that, are we going to continue to buy houses in Zaria, within Zaria, to accommodate more population who are willing to come to the school? And if we are doing that, why not give other parts of this country the opportunity to also have access to those campuses too? Why continue to expand and buy private houses and hotels within one town in a country of 240 million people who want access to that. The same thing happened in the law school, sir.
Senator Buhari Abdulfatai, Chairman Senate Committee on Aviation, called for clarity regarding the rising flight delays and cancellations in Nigeria, emphasizing their negative impact on social-economic growth.
When Nigerians pay to travel to, say, from Abuja to Enugu or Port Harcourt, 9 o'clock flight, they will be there until 9 o'clock in the night. To tell Nigerians that when an airline cancels its flight, if not weather, and it's taking more than 24 hours, they should feed you at the airport. Little thing for people, so that people won't start collapsing at the airport. They should give us the person that their respect, their honor. This is our country. It's not about making money for them below. We need to change the side. We need to change the dynamic. We need to take Nigeria where we ought to be.
During a Senate session, he proposed suspending the 2025 budget allocation for aviation project until existing issues are resolved.
Before we finish this budget, so that we won't take our own decision on your own budget of 2025.
Yes.
We just want that report in the next 1 week. Immediately after the budget, call your people. Let them give you the 2013, the 2015. I'm sure by the time we go to 2025 too, maybe we'll see another figure. We don't know the issue of what happened in 2013. We don't know 2013. How much the actual contract. Where have you reached? Where have they? And then you are putting in more money. We have to know that. And then in the next 1 week, we'll be waiting for this thing. At that time, we'll be able to compare those on the 2025 budget. Then we will now submit to the appropriation committee. Thank you very much.
We move to the FCT now, where doctors under the Association of Resident Doctors in the Federal Capital Territory Administration have commenced a 3-day warning strike, citing unpaid salaries, allowances and delayed promotions. The strike, which began on Wednesday, follows the expiration of a 3-week ultimatum issued in December to the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike. Dr. George Ebong, the president of the association, expressed frustration over unresolved demands, including 6 months of unpaid arrears and 13 months of hazard allowance arrears. The strike affects all government hospitals in Abuja, including facilities in Wuse, Asokoro, Maitama, Kubwa, and Nyanya. Dr. Ebong decried the neglect of doctors, describing them as abandoned projects despite their contributions during crises like COVID-19 and Lassa fever. The association has warned that if their demands are not met within the 3-day window, they will escalate the action to an indefinite strike. We take a pause here. News stories from the build sector are up next. Stay with us. You're still watching Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Now to the build sector. President Bola Tinubu's administration has invested approximately 300 billion naira in the development of the 6 area councils of the Federal Capital Territory over the past 17 months. According to FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, these commitments include major infrastructure projects such as the recently completed 9-kilometer Piankon-Kore-Ibwa Road in Gwagwalada, which cost 8.5 billion naira. Wike also announced plans for the completion of the 22 billion naira Agoma Palace Market Road in May 2025, coinciding with the president's 2nd anniversary in office. Additionally, Over 16.5 billion naira has been allocated for school renovations, including the School of the Gifted in Gwagwalada and several government secondary schools. Community leaders and residents lauded the project for improving transportation, boosting businesses, and addressing decades of neglect positively impacting over 17 communities. In a bid to address Nigerians' housing challenges, Senator Osita Izunazo, representing Imo West Senatorial District, has reiterated his commitment to advocating for increased funding and legislative reforms aimed at promoting affordable housing. During a courtesy visit by Festus Adibayo, founder of Housing TV Africa, the senator criticized the significant budget cuts for housing projects, describing the current allocation for the renewed Hope Housing Development Project as grossly inadequate. Senator Izunaso called for private-public partnerships and international collaborations to bridge funding gaps and urged the Federal Ministry of Housing to adopt innovative strategies. He also emphasized the need to repeal outdated housing laws and implement mortgage-backed housing delivery systems to enable Nigerians to own homes with long-term payment plans.
The ministry shouldn't depend solely on the allocation coming from the budget office. No, this is housing. They should think out of the box. And the national housing policy also have called for a review. I think it is time to review the national housing policy of 2012. One of the cardinal things I expect the ministry to do is to promote the issue of private-public partnership to an extent that they will attract a lot of resources from the private sector, leveraging on mortgage bank, federal mortgage bank to some extent, and even National Housing Fund. National Housing Fund also has to be reviewed. So I think the ministry should think out of the box. But that is not a justification for the low capital budget.
The senator received commendation from Festus Adibayo, who described him as the most housing-friendly senator in Nigeria, while pledging continued advocacy for housing reforms. To wrap up Housing TV news at the top of the hour, on the foreign scene, the United States immigration authorities have been granted the ability to arrest individuals at schools, churches and hospitals following President Donald Trump's administration's reversal of policies that previously classified these locations as off-limits for enforcement. The Department of Homeland Security, which oversees immigration and customs enforcement and border protection, announced the change in a statement, emphasizing the importance of eliminating spaces where individuals could evade arrest. The new directive issued by Acting Department of Homeland Security's Secretary Benjamin Hoffman also reinstates the use of expedited removal nationwide. Under this policy, Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers is empowered to quickly deport undocumented individuals who cannot prove they have resided in the United States continuously for more than 2 years. That's the much we can take on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Nigeria, UK deepen ties in fight against Boko Haram. The Independent National Electoral Commission has fixed Saturday, the 21st February 2026 for the FCT Area Council election. Senate suspends 2025 budget defense of Office of Auditor General 24 hours to deadline. FCT doctors begin 3-day warning strike over unpaid salaries. President Tinubu's administration invests 300 billion naira in FCT area councils. On the foreign scene, we saw U.S. targets churches, mosques, schools, hospitals for mass deportation. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV Africa on all social media platforms. Do not forget to download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store to stay connected. I am Mimuna Bagodu. Thanks for watching and bye for now.
TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing development broadcasting.